But it is now time to take a look at the top Seahawks on offense who should be cut. First one on the board, we've got C.J. Prosise, the running back. So simply because this guy cannot stay healthy for the life of him. He has played in just 11 of 32 regular season games in his first 2 years in the NFL, but following the 2017 season, Pete Carroll mentioned that they would be relying more on Prosise, but that was before they drafted Rashad Penny. And now Prosise has some tough competition and a ton to prove. The time will come for us to know if Prosise's future with the Seahawks is if he gets injured again, because there are 5 other tailbacks on the roster better and more reliable, and that would be the time where the Seahawks come to their senses and cut him. Next up, I asked all of you guys who you want the Seahawks to cut, and you told me Germain Ifedi, offensive tackle, and majority of you said this, although that will not be happening anytime soon, but it could happen after the season, you guys. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I saw all I needed to see with Ifedi last season when he led the league in penalties. So I can agree with you 12s, and I feel your frustration. Now, the Seahawks did bring in new offensive line coach and Mike Solari, whose power run system may suit Ifedi way better. So hopefully things will turn around, but if they don't, expect Ifedi to be heading out of Seattle in the future. After this upcoming season, the Seahawks will have to decide if they want to pick up his 5th-year option, which likely is a no if I had to guess based on the production we've seen thus far. He will have the chance again this season to prove to us what he can do, because we know Pete Carroll has pledged to us that Ifedi will be starting at right tackle. But again, Ifedi won't be one to be cut soon, but I asked you guys who you wanted to see on the list, so I could not leave him out. You are watching your Seattle Seahawks Report presented by Man Crates. Awesome gift packages for guys delivered in a wooden crate. You guys can go ahead and get one today at mancrates.com. Moving along here with our top offensive players who should be cut for the Seahawks. Next up on my list is Tanner McEvoy, wide receiver. So he will be competing this offseason to be a reserve receiver for the Seahawks in 2018, and at best could be a possibly number 6 receiver, even behind Marcus Johnson if he can make it through camp. But I see the Seahawks focusing more on the 2 seasons McEvoy spent in Seattle. The production for him just hasn't been there. He's had just 14 catches for 253 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, let me emphasize, 2 seasons. If he can't perform throughout camp, he is a guy who is likely going to be on his way out, so stay tuned, 12s. Next up is our newest addition, wide receiver Brandon Marshall. Now, Pete Carroll pursued him in 2010 when he was coming off a 101 catch, 1,120 yard, and 10 touchdown season. Unfortunately, though, the Marshall that Carroll finally got is 34 years old, coming off a pretty major ankle surgery in an 18-catch, 154-yard season with no touchdowns, and is entering his 13th season now in the NFL. In 5 games last season, Marshall was one of the worst receivers in the NFL, but for the Seahawks, we can understand why they made the decision to sign him. 2 main reasons here, 12s. He's a big-bodied receiver, and he's a veteran. 2 things that a receiving core lacks. Now, hopefully, Marshall will be able to make some magic in Seattle, playing with a top-notch quarterback in Russell Wilson, but will he be able to replace the 101 catches for 1,223 yards, 16 touchdowns on 178 targets from last year from Jimmy Graham and Paul Richardson? I'm not sold on this one just yet. His contract says enough. It includes only $90,000 guaranteed, so Marshall is not locked to make the team. Before we sign off, guys, I want to know from you, who on offense do you want the Seahawks to cut? Go ahead and get your comments below, or go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at JordanGeorgiou and let me know who you want cut. But that was your Seattle Seahawks Report. Make sure to go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And while you're at it, go ahead and like Seattle Seahawks from Chat Sports so you get a notification every time we go live. Until next time, you guys, I'll see ya.